Crosshairs is the name of several fictional characters of the various Transformers universes. Transformers, Generation 1, Crosshairs is an Autobot and transforms into a futuristic, possibly Cybertronian ATV. Meticulous, cautious, some would say overcautious, will not take a shot unless he's sure he cannot miss. Will not waste ammo. Pinpointer, his dual rocket-propelled grenade launcher, can lock on target in less than 0.0003 seconds, but usually trusts Crosshairs to decide when to shoot. In vehicle mode, maximum speed, 160 mph, range, 750 miles. Built for traversing rough terrain. In Japan, Pinpointer was called Pointech. Marvel Comics, Crosshairs followed the Autobot leader Fortress Maximus to Nebulos in an effort to get away from war. However, they were followed to Nebulos by Scorponok's Decepticons, and the war began anew. Desperate to prove their peaceful intentions to the Nebulans, Crosshairs was amongst those who surrendered their weapons. When the Decepticons ran roughshod over the planet, the Nebulans pioneered a bioengineering process where Nebulans in robotic suits could transform into the guns of the Transformers. Crosshairs became a Target Master as a result, battling the Decepticons on several occasions. After the war proved devastating to Nebulos, Maximus' crew left for Earth, where they encountered the Earthbound Autobots under Grimlock. Cloudburst, Crosshairs, Getaway, Highbrow and Stakeout were among the Autobots who backed Optimus Prime when Grimlock challenged him for leadership of the Autobots in the issue number 263 of the Marvel UK Comics, Breakaway animated series. Crosshairs was featured in the US Season 4 episode The Rebirth. His cartoon model was different from his toy in the fact that the cartoon had a face mask and the toy did not. Crosshairs was amongst the Autobots marooned on planet Nebulos when their starship's engines were overloaded by the plasma energy chamber. While on Nebulos, he is kidnapped with the other future Target Masters. The Headmasters rescue them and Brainstorm modifies their weapons as exosuits for the Nebulans. Crosshairs was featured in the Japanese series Transformers, The Headmasters. The Japanese animators kept Crosshairs' design in line with his toy. The concept of the Target Masters in the series was similar. One notable exception was the fact that the weapons replaced the robots' hands rather than held by them. In the world of Transformers, the Headmasters, there are no Nebulons. The Headmasters themselves are simply small Transformers, who, having settled on the planet Master, learned to transform into heads and connect to lifeless larger bodies named Transdectors. It was to Master that the Decepticon forces returned after the Autobots forced them to flee Earth, and consequently, a ship was dispatched by the planet's inhabitants to alert the Earth-bound Autobots to the Decepticon invasion. At the same time, the youthful Autobot, Wheelie, had summoned 3 of his old superior officers, Point Blank, Sure Shot and Crosshairs, to Earth to aid in the cleanup operation currently going on, when Autobot Headmaster Chrome Dome accidentally activated one of the plasma bombs the Decepticons had left behind. Heading out into space so that the bomb might harmlessly explode out in the void, the Autobots then crossed paths with the approaching Master ship, which was being pursued by the Decepticon Six-Shot and 3 new troops, Slugslinger, Misfire and Trigger Happy. As Point Blank and his men tangled with the Decepticons, the Master refugees offered their help by transporting away the plasma bombs, only to have the bombs detonate in the middle of the battlefield. Recovering from the explosion, Point Blank, Crosshairs and Sure Shot discovered that the 6 Master refugees had been fused to their arms. Although Fortress was able to surgically remove them, a bond now existed between the larger Transformers and the Master refugees, who could now freely attach and detach to their wrists as guns. Unfortunately for these new Target Masters, the same had happened to Slugslinger and his fellows. The Target Masters joined up with Fortress's crew on the mission to Master, but quickly clashed with the Headmasters. Point Blank and his men were hard, experienced warriors who thought little of the Headmasters, and Point Blank spent a good deal of time attempting to soothe Chrome Dome's fiery temper to improve his battle ability. When the Generation 2 animated series was aired, animated bits of the Generation 1 commercial with Crosshairs in it were edited into the episode More Than Meets the Eye Part 1. Books, Crosshairs appeared in the 1988 Ladybird book story Decepticons at the Pole by John Grant. Crosshairs appeared in the 1988 Ladybird book story Autobots Strike Oil by John Grant. 3 Hours Enterprises, Crosshairs appeared in a flashback sequence in the Transformers universe, Wreckers comic series. He works with the Autobot Target Masters and Hotspot against an army of Nightbird robots. Dreamwave Productions. Although Crosshairs and Pinpointer did not appear in any fiction produced by Dreamwave Productions before it went out of business, they did get a one-page biography in their More Than Meets the Eye series. IDW Publishing. Crosshairs first appeared at the very end of Transformers, Stormbringer, where Optimus Prime ordered him to set course for Earth. Fun Publications. Spark commands an Autobot shuttle crewed by Blaze, Hubcap, Sideswipe, Streetstar, and Windbreaker into space where they intercept a distress call from Spike Witwicky on the planet Nebulos. When the Autobots arrive on Nebulos they meet Spike and Carly Witwicky, Chip Chase and the Autobots Brainstorm, Chromedome, Crosshairs and Highbrow who inform them that the Nebulan scientist High-Q is missing. They learn from High-Q's assistant High-Test that High-Q had security monitors and through them discover the scientist was kidnapped by the Decepticons Runabout and Ron-Amok. Toys. Generation 1 Crosshairs with Pinpointer, came with his partner Pinpointer. Live-action films. Crosshairs is an Autobot weaponsmith. IDW Publishing. Crosshairs is among the Autobot forces who witness the launching of the Decepticon ship Nemesis. In Transformers, Defiance No. 4 Crosshairs is seen being recruited by Optimus Prime into the Autobots after the bulk of the Decepticon forces left Cybertron on the Nemesis. In Transformers, The Reign of Starscream No. 4 Arcee returns to Cybertron from Mars by hiding in the landing gear of Starscream's ship. Once on the planet she is discovered by Dreadwing and payload drones, who she deactivates. Returning to an Autobot training facility she discovers Clocker, who takes her to Crosshairs. Crosshairs is planning an attack to free the Autobots at Symphor. They make their attempt aid of Wingblade, Skyblast, Breakaway and Strongum. Crosshairs appears among the Autobots opposing the forces Starscream on Cybertron in Reign of Starscream No. 5. Crosshairs beheads Ramjet and the Autobots are able to deactivate the Decepticon drone forces as Starscream overcomes Dreadwing's remaining forces. Note: the appearance of Crosshairs is modified in the IDW Publishing stories so that his head more resembles movie-style's alien insectoid style than the movie toy and he has a Cybertronian alternate mode. Film. Crosshairs appears in the film Transformers, Age of Extinction as a green 2014 C-7 Corvette Stingray, where he is voiced by John DiMaggio in an English accent. His robot design features a trench coat that stores his guns. In the film, he is very pessimistic toward the human population and his own Autobot team though he respects Optimus. In the battle in Hong Kong, he rode the Dinobot Scorn into the fight, later nicknaming the Dinobot Spike. Afterwards, Optimus Prime ordered him along with the other Autobots to protect the Yeager family as Optimus departed for space. Toys. Transformers Scout Crosshairs. Crosshairs is a redeco of Energon Strongum. He is a Target store exclusive. His colors seem to be a homage to Generation 1 Artback, making him very similar to Timeline's Fallback. Dark of the Moon Human Alliance Basic Crosshairs with Sergeant K9, a green redeco of Human Alliance Basic Thunderhead with Major Tungsten. As with all basic Human Alliance figures, Crosshairs is a triple changer. He transforms from a Walker tank into a robot or a mecha suit for the human figure. Age of Extinction Deluxe Class Crosshairs, an all-new mold of Crosshairs. Age of Extinction Cyberverse Crosshairs, Age of Extinction Titan Hero Crosshairs, a non-transforming 12 inches figure with limited articulation. Age of Extinction Scientist Crosshairs, Age of Extinction Dinobot Sparkers Crosshairs and Scorn, a non-transforming toy of Crosshairs riding on Scorn. Crosshairs is a non-posable figure with a long sword while Scorn features pullback action that activates sparks in its body. Transformers, Timelines. Crosshairs is known to be incredibly lazy and when forced to get off his rear bumper he can become very angry. As well as his Target Master weapon, he has a cannon in his chest. Ricochet commands Scoop and Crosshairs. Crosshairs is partnered with the overeager Target Master Pinpointer. Crosshairs transforms into an Earth-style truck. Pinpointer transforms into a truck or a fire-and-forget missile launcher gun. Although no toy for Crosshairs and Pinpointer was ever released, they appear to be identical to the toys for Transformers Movie Warpath and the Armada X Dimension Minicon Firebot. Fun Publications. Crosshairs is spotlighted as one of the main Autobot Target Masters in the story Do-Over by Fun Publications. In this story, the Autobot Target Masters capture Megatron, but as Optimus Prime arrives to finish him off personally, the Micromaster Predacons and Whisper arrive and free Megatron. Transformers Universe. Crosshairs is a Decepticon-aligned Minicon who turns into a helicopter. Toys Universe Armada Series Crosshairs, part of a Transformers Universe Armada Series 10-pack. References